Hey guys, in this video I want to show you an example of infield that I did that really illustrates kind of how to have a comfortable, flirty, bantering conversation with someone. This is my last approach. I think I did about 5 approaches that day. I just wanted to take one day off where I'm shooting to show you guys what's possible, right? Of the 5 interactions, the 5 women I talked to, 1 or 2 rejections, I think 1 rejection, and 4 interesting interactions. And this is the last one for the day. And I think it's a great illustration of what's possible, and also like when someone's not available, how you can still have like a flirty, fun conversation without wanting anything from them. A lot of the techniques I'm about to use in this video, you can use at a nightclub, at a pool party, at a bar. You can use it anywhere you want to create that attraction, comfortable, kind of attractive frame that I have that's very comfortable but still has that sexual draw to it. And so let me show you how it's done.
Hi. I thought you might be interesting and came over to say hello.
Whenever I get someone's attention, I usually wave and I do something very clear that I'm getting her attention, because getting her attention is a first step. Most guys blurt out the line really quickly, but really what you want to do is like, hey, I command attention, right? Even if you reject me, I want you to reject me while giving me 100% of your attention. I don't want to be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what is she saying? And she just keeps walking, right? If a girl's going to reject me with 100% of your attention. At least I demand that. I don't always get that. If you want to do anything in life, man, freaking do it. You know, do it to the best of your ability and get their attention first. Then say the line. You'll notice how when I said the line, also I leaned back and I stood up a bit. Whenever I get their attention, I'm kind of in their face, because as people are walking or they're doing something, we really need something that really stops their kind of pattern, interrupt them, right? Then as soon as I do that, I lean back or I step up or I kind of take like a nonverbal step back. And I'm just letting them know like, hey, I got your attention, but I'm not needy. Saying here, hey, I need your attention. I got your attention. Hey, in this video, I want to show you, what it's like to have comfortable conversations, right? So I got your attention. I don't need to hold it, but now I can kind of direct your focus back into this. And what I'm saying non-verbally, the subtext is, I'm not a needy guy. I got your attention now. I don't need to hold it. I know I have value, and I know that if you see my value, that you'll just follow me naturally. So it's a non-verbal cue, very powerful. And I did that here by standing up again, by leaning down, getting her attention, standing up again, and giving her space. Make sense?
Am I wrong?
Hello.
Hi. I'm just gonna sit for a bit, then get back to my friends.
So you looked interesting, and then and she laughed. I'm like, am I wrong? And then I said, hey, I gave a false time constraint. Well, it's not false because technically my friend is waiting for me. So I said, hey, I do have to get back to my friends, but while I'm here, let me hang out for a bit. So I'm giving her an out, right? And anytime you approach someone, they're wondering, is this guy gonna be cool? And if he's not cool, does he have the social intuition to kind of leave me alone? For women, social awkwardness and being trapped socially with like someone who's like socially just doesn't get it is super frustrating. They see it every day. So I'm just immediately right away letting her know that I'm not that type of dude, and I will prove it to you as our conversation continues.
Visiting or local? I just moved here. I guess I'm local technically. LA. Yeah. You're from LA? Midwest, East Coast, West Coast? Whereabouts? South Dakota. I don't know anything about South Dakota.
So instead of trying to relate to her, I said, I don't know anything about South Dakota. Most guys are like, oh, okay, South Dakota. Is there a basketball team there, a football team? I'm just like, yo, I don't know anything. I'm just like very honest about like expressing like my true self, right? So you don't have to relate to her. Sometimes you can say the exact opposite. France? Oh my God, I hate France. What? I'm just kidding. I don't hate France. Actually, I like French food, right? Just, you don't have to agree with everything, right? It's like, just speak your truth. When you speak your truth, you'll find natural commonalities as they occur. You don't need to force a commonality or force a rapport to happen, okay?
It's very quiet.
Are there any Asian people there?
Some.
No, not really.
So instead of her qualifying me, like, yeah, I don't usually meet Asian people, I'm like, are there any Asian people in your town? So I'm just like, instead of her qualifying me, I'm setting the hoop, right? I'm like, are there Asian people there? So now there's social pressure in our PC climate. It's like, no, but I have some Asian friends, right? So I'm just putting a little bit of pressure, not on purpose, because I'm also curious, generally curious if there are Asian people there, but I'm just letting her, I'm acknowledging consciously that we look different. And I think that, in my experience, I found that as an Asian guy, it's better to just mention it and joke about it and then just like let that slide rather than making that like a barrier point, like an obstacle throughout the interaction. So just a, this one sentence solves that problem.
Really? Do you guys have any like pho, Japanese restaurants? No. Like what do you have? Any Asian stores? Okay. You're not big on Japanese food.
Sushi and
It's so good.
I can't do fish.
Oh, wait, are you married? Oh, okay.
So I'm just like, I'm like, well, you don't like Japanese food? Oh my God, come on, give me a break. So I'm really expressing how I feel. Like, come on, like, So I'm not afraid to say that I'm displeased with something, right? So I just change the topic, right? I was like, oh, are you married?
You're by yourself, husband?
So I want to find out her relationship status because I think I saw a ring. I wasn't sure. So I just wanted to make sure that if she was single or not. At this point, I could exit if I'm looking for something more or if I enjoy talking to her, right? So, but some of the techniques I use are still applicable if the girl is single.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Kids? Not that I know of.
Do you have kids? Not that I know of. That's a good line to use for banter.
Yeah. Yeah. How old are your kids?
14 and 10.
Oh wow, you don't look that old. Well, maybe people in the Midwest have kids when they're younger.
Yeah, I work at a skin clinic. I get Botox. Really fit.
I won't tell anyone. Wait.
I give blowjobs and I'm like, I won't tell anyone. So, she's sexualizing it, not me, right? So a lot of times you'll find people that are married young, they kind of miss out on that dating phase and they like the flirting, but usually they're pretty faithful. And I'm not about breaking up relationships. Like even if it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. My mentor Zan used to say, it's not worth it to be in a crumbling building or to be an architect of a crumbling building. And so he just like avoids it altogether. And I agree with him. Like any type of toxic relationship, no matter how hot the girl is, if she's in a relationship, it's just not worth it, right? It's like a no-no, but also not just based on principle, but just based on the fact that it's just a dirty situation to get into. It's not worth your time. Trust me on that, guys. Trust me. No matter how hot the girl is, it's not worth it.
You're 50? Interesting. Okay.
I'm not afraid to pause, right? I don't feel the need to say everything every second. I'm just like, okay. Sometimes just hanging out with a friend. They're next to you, just pause. Just like, all right, cool. Take the pause. Take the silence. Silence is golden if it's coming from a place of non-neediness.
What's that? No, I was out. We were at the mall, and then we somehow walked over. There's a mall down there, and then it's all connected. So we just walked over. And then I like meeting new people. I try to find out. I try to learn something from everyone. So then I learned Botox makes you look younger. Yeah. Yeah.
She had some Botox done.
But you're like 35, if that? Okay. So you had kids when you were really young. Relatively. Yeah. It's okay. You're doing fine now, right? Take a guess. I am 38. Thank you. Yeah, Asian. Yeah. Yeah. I would like to find a cute girl. It doesn't matter if it's a white girl or not, but I would like to have kids someday. But I just feel like if it's a white girl, the kids will be really cute. I have good genetics, yeah.
That is so Asian, looking young, having cute mixed kids. Those are things I say anyway if it's a single interaction. I'm just practicing at this point. I'm showing you guys the techniques, but I'm also enjoying my conversation with her. Right? She's obviously hasn't flirted in a while. I'm just giving value wherever I can, and I enjoy the conversation. So. But those are techniques that you can use if you're an Asian guy, let's say. Those are just things that are very easy to say to play off the fact that you're kind of embracing your heritage, if you will, and making it fun for other people as well to learn about that.
So, if you know anyone.
If someone's taken, I'm not just immediately like, all right, see you later, like you're trash. Like, no. Hey, if you know anyone, like, look, I'm not after the girl, you see, I'm after the truth. I'm after the truth of how a relationship is. If she is married, Our relationship could be we're just friends, or our relationship could be her husband gets jealous even if she has guy friends. So our truth is just we have the next 5 minutes together, right? If I seek the truth and I state my intention, if you know anyone that's good for me, I'm always looking for my next buyer or the next house or the next clothes or the next girl. All you need is one when it comes to relationships. The one girl you're going to marry, to have kids with, have a family that she has, right? So I don't need to sexualize or to make something happen, right? I'm respectful of other people's relationships. I'm really just building a skill set. When you're going out, you're building a skill set to be able to have real conversations with people. And if a girl's in a relationship or she's not available, or maybe she's single but she finds you unattractive, I'll say, cool, it's all good. It's not necessary that you like everybody. By the way, I'm a good guy. Like, I'm loyal, I got this and that. Not that I'm looking, but if you know anyone, do you have any friends that might, you might think that might be a good fit? So I'm always looking for like connections, truthful connections between me and different people. And so you see how like with that mentality, I can build my web really quick. Like I can build my web of connections, of social connections fast, and I can get them people the value that they want. Maybe they're looking for an agent. I'm not an agent, but I might know someone. I connect with them. And then when I connect them, they both get value out of it. So this idea of like trying to get something from someone that comes from this like scarce mindset, right? It's just a lose-lose situation, right? I'm here to create win-win situations by seeking the truth with whoever I talk to. And from that standpoint, okay, even if I get rejected, right, I can't lose. You see? You can't lose if you come from that intention, okay? You might have some skill sets you want to build up, right? But that comes with a little bit of time and guidance from the right coach. But you don't need to get something from someone, okay? You can still have a great conversation, and you can still ask for references for girls that might be right for you.
They're in Taiwan.
Yeah. Why are you here then?
I came here for school. I just stayed.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Where'd you go then for college?
I went to a small business school.
So now we're talking about real stuff, right? I came here as an immigrant. She tells me about her story growing up in North Dakota. Like, we're having a real conversation. Like, it's so interesting to just meet someone who has a completely different background than you and just understand how they came to where they were, right? She grew up in a small town, had kids early on, has a family life now, but they came to Vegas for vacation. So just interesting to hear like how they think about the world. And it's fascinating to me, right? And if you're not curious about people, I wasn't a long time ago. I was just always thinking, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? But if you're curious about other people, they'll be curious about you. And when they're curious about you, they want to help you. If you know their story, they want to help you. They want you to succeed for the most part. Most people are like that. It's a law of reciprocity, right? And when you leverage that enough, eventually you'll reach your social goals, no matter how ambitious they are.
In Boston, called Babson, and you just walk because everything's connected. Wait, so like open marriage?
So again, we had this like interesting conversation. I'm like, how do I flirt a little bit? So open marriage? Like, I'm just testing the boundaries. Whenever a girl tells me she has a boyfriend, I'm just testing, not in a malicious way, right? I'm just being just kind of like a light push, like, so like open marriage, or like, so open relationship. So are you allowed to date other people? Or like, are you allowed to make other guy friends? I'm just seeing where the boundary is, right? And just playfully, right? Because you never know. I've met people who are like, yeah, we have an open marriage, right? If you don't ask, you don't know. And it's also funny because it's like, if it's not true, it's just like, no, of course not. And it's just a fun joke. So I'm just self-amusing at this point.
Next try, no.
Okay, if you know anyone who likes Asian guys, introduce me. Although I don't know if I'm ever going to North Dakota.
You haven't been like a Midwest girl.
I have actually. I've dated one. St. Louis.
I have. One of my great loves of my life was from the Midwest. Beautiful girl. And you just never know, right? Like when you connect with people, we always think like we have these like mental boundaries of maps of borders, right? But in reality, like to date without borders is really to remove those boundaries from yourself and to be able to interact freely with whoever you want. And that is the essence of what I teach here at High Integrity Skills, right? The freedom in your social connections, freedom to move socially wherever you want, be it dating, be it job, be it connections, be it making friends. Everything you do is without borders. So that's the essence of my mission here, to impart this knowledge that I learned as a diplomatic kid and now as a coach, so that you guys have this skill available that you can, hopefully live forever online on YouTube, whatever platform, so that the next generation can learn these skills that I picked up over 15 years. And you can use it to enrich your life and to make it better.
Yeah, beautiful girl. 100 after you have kids. No.
He
Well,
like always.
it's too much information. But I know that she was also very like, when she found another person, she's very loyal, and I miss those values because when you talk to girls here in LA, it's
We talk about like small town values and talk about my ex-girlfriend and we banter a bit. So this is just like normal conversation.
I got pretty good, but now I teach guys who. Yeah. What was your name again?
The only man that I've talked to thus far is an 80-year-old man.
What was your name again?
Right.
It's your time, me time. Yeah, check out the fountain and talk to some guys. Just flirt. Who cares?
You'd be so mad. He'll never know.
That's too bad.
That'd be an insecurity thing on his side, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so this is an interesting thing. So when someone's comfortable with you and they like you, they'll start telling. Okay, this is kind of manipulative, and I'm just giving it to you so you can watch out for it, right? So most guys, when they're trying to get with a girl competing for another guy, they'll say, "Oh, that your husband's not good, your boyfriend's not this and that." And when you do that, the natural response for the girl is like, "No, he does me, he does this, all this." So she's defending him, right? But when you're like, "Oh, you have an amazing relationship, it's awesome. Like, I envy you. You have a beautiful relationship." Then what happens is she's like, "Well, it's great, but he's kind of insecure," and so she's now bringing up the bad stuff, right? So basically, it's like reverse psychology. And I have noticed in the past when I was learning this from some guys that may have not shared the same ethics, that is a way for get a girl to cheat on her boyfriend. I'm not about that, okay? I'm just talking to her, and I know she enjoys the flirting because she's been married for a long time. So I'm just giving her like some value there, and then I'm done, right? But you want to watch out for guys that like that. But generally speaking, if you do have a friend, let's say, who's not in the best relationship and you're trying to get them out of it, a good way is like, "Oh, I love your relationship. It seems so good." And then that prompts them to say, "Well, yeah, it's good, but there's some other things that are missing." So that's a psychological way to get someone out of a relationship that you think is bad for them, or to know when someone's using it on you.
I mean, I don't know him, but my ex-girlfriend, anyway, I have to go soon, but long story short is, I went through a period where I was very jealous, and then to deal with it, I learned.
So instead of using that piece of information to kind of like steal her from her husband or to do something like, I'm basically relaying my story to her, because as a coach, I'm just telling her like, sometimes guys are insecure and here's how you guys can work through that, right? So it becomes now like holistic healing, right? So I'm just giving her like some brief tips in the next 5 minutes on how to deal with that and where that comes from. So I'm giving her basically relationship tips, right? Because I was never the type of guy to steal a girl from someone else. I was never the type of guy to break someone's relationship. I find that disgusting, actually. And so for me, when she shares that information with me, I'm just like, okay, how can I help, right? The reason I find people that steal relationships or cheat disgusting is because I never had that urge myself. To me, it's always been like, if you're going to cheat on your girlfriend, if you're going to hook up with another girl who has a boyfriend, like, why? Why stay in a relationship when you want to sleep with someone else, right? Just end the relationship. I don't understand this. For me, acquire the skill set to get laid if you want, but make real connections, get intimate. Then you never have the scarcity. The idea that you have to compromise your values, compromise someone else's values, hurt somebody else. I've never cheated on any of my girlfriends. I just end relationships. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not only immoral, it hurts people. I think it's a cowardly thing to do. So I just don't understand people that do that. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. I don't understand you. I think it's a horrible thing to do. As I learned about like therapeutic stuff, I learned that some people repeat the patterns or they're traumatized, sure. But I just, in my mind, there's in no situation does it warrant making someone else cheat or cheating yourself. It's just despicable to me. Sorry. That's my stance on this. The best thing you can do when someone's in a relationship is to respect their relationship, see what kind of truth you can seek between them, and then ask them for a reference either professionally or personally to a party or a person that might be right for you, that might lead you onto the next green light to your final destination, be it with a girl that you like, or be it with your future wife, or be it just, casual dating with someone that's compatible to you. Okay?
I hung out with people that are polyamorous. I was. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Where are you off to now?
I don't know. Back to the mall, probably.
Where are your friends at?
They're around. I gotta go find them. Yeah, I told him give me a second, so it's been 10 minutes.
You better go find him then.
Nice to meet you. Should I give you a hug? Is that weird?
No, it's not weird.
Okay.
Do I need to stand up?
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna put my stuff down.
Well, have a good trip.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
So at the end, you know, when a girl's in a relationship, I'll say, should I give you a hug? Is that weird, right? So instead of saying, okay, see you, can I give you a hug? Right? I said, would it be crazy if I gave you a hug? Right? It's a lot easier to accept, right? Because I'm basically stating like, would it be crazy? I'm setting the bar really high. It's a sales technique. Would it be crazy? Would it be totally weird if I gave you a hug right now? And she'd be like, no, of course not, right? It's easy to agree when the disagreement's so high and the agreement's so low compliance that they'll take the low compliance. No, of course not. So, you know, I gave her a hug and that was the end of it, and I never saw her again, right? But that was a beautiful interaction that I had with another human being. So some of the techniques that I talked about, you can take into your own interactions. And if the girl's single, you'll know from the techniques I use how you can perhaps move it forward. Or if she's not single, how to take that next step to, you know, get a contact from one of her friends or have her introduce you, or just build that good karma, dating karma, that eventually, I guarantee, will come back to you, okay? I hope this was useful to you. If you want more infields like this, I have an infield with the models, really beautiful European girls, American girls. Check out the first date formula where I give you the lines, the techniques, the principles to be able to develop lines that are congruent to who you are. And I take you every step of the way through this interaction. This course is on promotion, 50% off, up to 1,000 students. So check out the link below. Download the 33 lines for free. And if you want to purchase the course, the first date formula, you'll have a lot of content that's like this, that's even better than this, really in depth, that shows you how I grow up to people I don't know, make a genuine connection, and how I, you know, met like two of my loves of my life, my two beautiful girlfriends, just from talking to people on the street, okay? I'll also show you in the course how to make those connections online so that you have a 34% message to date ratio that, you know, every match I get, 1/3 of them end up on dates. And so that funnel is really consistent from my online dating, okay? Check out the first date formula below using the link. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.